as red. She's got the spices, smile so bright. Cooking with Judith right by my side. By my side. Chop, chop, sizzle, frying pan heat. From pancakes to a fancy feast. Cooking with Judith, fun to say the least. The least.
Hello and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Judith. And I know a lot of people are very particular about the fish they have in their fish and chips. So I thought, let's do a taste test. Now it's going to be hard to make it a blind taste test, but I'll do my best. So I have rockfish, which we actually used to call red snapper, but fisheries said there's no real snapper on the west coast, so it's not a snapper, it's rockfish. Often mislabeled as rock cod. I have Pacific gray cod. I have Atlantic cod, which unfortunately was previously frozen. Well, because it's about the only way we're going to get Atlantic cod here. And I have a nice piece of halibut. I know some people won't eat fish and chips unless it is halibut. I know people that prefer the gray cod. I really like the rockfish. Although I'm not fussy, I will eat cod. I love halibut, but I think it's too good to waste on fish and chips. So I'm going to make a beer batter, which isn't something I normally make, but for this, I thought, what the heck, let's go all out. And I'm going to take a small piece of each and put them up for the taste test. So I'll be back shortly. So to get ready to cook our fish, we need to make sure it's dry, and we need to add some starch of some sort. So let me try to remember where the bits are. And as I said, I was not going to cook all of that fish right away. So I'm going to, for the taste test, a small piece of the rockfish, small piece of the halibut, small piece of the Atlantic cod, and a small piece of the gray cod. Do check that gray cod for bones. There will be bones. I will cook a couple other pieces just for eating. So use flour, cornstarch, potato starch, whatever you prefer to dust your fish pieces with. We do want them dry and dusted. This will help the batter stick and not be stodgy in the middle. And as I said, I prefer the rice flour or cornstarch. This is rice flour I'm using today. So now let's just return our rockfish. Fortunately, is easy to tell apart because it's got a different color, but want to make sure everything is labeled. So hopefully I've got them in the right spots. Halibut, gray cod, that's those two, and yeah, okay, we know it's what. So the batter is flour, salt, baking powder, and nice ice cold beer. And we want it to be a fairly thin batter, and we don't want to break the bubbles from the beer, so we're going to try to mix it gently, basically folding it like a cake batter. Because the bubbles are what's going to make the batter light and crispy. Okay, I think we're about there. No, I did say like a cake batter, but not as thick as a cake batter, please. Don't want it that thick. We want a fairly thin batter. So, yeah, this should be good. Okay, there we go. Nice and foamy, and not terribly thick. Now to fry our fish, we're going to do it one bit at a time, so we keep track of what we're frying. And dip it in the batter and let the excess drain off. In the hot oil and let it cook a bit. Okay, so then we're going to do, because these two shapes are significantly different, we're going to do 2 pieces this time. And hopefully remember which one is which. After a minute or two, give it a turn. And I'm going to put stickers on the bottom of the plates so that I know later which is which. And these don't take very long to cook. Now believe me, with my memory, I am not going to remember which is which for very long, so pretty much will be blind. We only need about 5 minutes to cook these. So we do want to turn them now and then to make sure they cook evenly.
Ahead, Judith with her apron wine that's red. She's got the spices, smile so bright. Cooking with Judith right by my side, by my side. Chop, chop, sizzle, frying pan heat. Music playing, dancing to the beat. We got our rhythm stirring the pot. Recipe for laughter, who'd have thought? Cooking with Judith, laugh till we cry. In the kitchen, time flies by. Mixing love in every dish. Cooking with Judith, that's our wish. Taste a spoonful, delight. Judith winks, everything just right. A pinch of joy, a dash of cheer. Cooking with Judith, whole crew here. Whole crew here. She counters flour on the floor. Judith smiled.
First one. Lovely, large flakes. Definite flavor. I wouldn't say strong or fishy or anything. But soft and quite nice. So let's put that one aside. Oops, let's not lose our sticker. I think the first one was halibut. Let's try this one. Nice, flaky flesh. Not as thick flakes as the first one. Extremely soft, almost mushy. There is, how to describe it, a flavor that demands lemon or something, because it's almost unpleasant. Yeah. Definitely preferred the first one to this, but let's continue. I think this might be the Atlantic cod. Ooh, nice big flakes. Yeah. And again, the meat is very soft. And not much flavor, really. So maybe try some tartar sauce on this one. Yeah, well, that just buries the flavor altogether. Maybe let's try some lemon. See if that helps the flavor without burying it. Very soft. Very flaky, very soft. It does brighten it up without burying the flavor of the fish. Although there isn't a lot of flavor there. I think that one's the gray cod. Okay, last one. Flaky, but smallish flaky, firm, not as soft as the last two. It does have flavor. Again, definitely needs lemon. The flesh does have some firmness. Does have a noticeable flavor, nothing fishy. And the flakes of fish do stay together on your tongue. It's not mush. Okay. So I think this one is the rock cod. Oh, sorry, rockfish. Okay. First one I said was the halibut. Oh, I was wrong. Atlantic cod. Wow. That surprises me. There's a nice, mild flavor. It's not mushy, it's firm. Okay. Next one. What did I say this one was? I think I said this one was the Atlantic cod. Halibut. Oh my. I don't know how I got those two backward. Definitely the Atlantic cod was better. I'm surprised. I thought the halibut would be way better. Alright. This one I said was the gray cod. Kind of mushy, not a lot of flavor. Yep, gray cod. So, last but not least, the rockfish. Which actually, I think comes in third. Rockfish. So my preference, and I'm surprised because I thought it would be the halibut, was actually the Atlantic cod, then the halibut, then the rockfish, then the gray cod. And I thought the gray cod would come in before the Atlantic cod. I thought it would be halibut, gray cod, rockfish, then Atlantic cod. I was so wrong. I'm surprised. I'm glad I tried this. I had never thought that the Atlantic cod, even though it was frozen, would still be better than the fresh halibut. Wow. No wonder they like cod so much on the East Coast. Always, even if you're positive that you're right, check, redo, and try again. I thought I might have mixed up my fish the first time around. Positive. I was wrong. So, doing it again to see if we actually had it right or if they were mixed. So, fish number 1. Nice, flaky, fairly good sized flakes. Not really firm, but not mushy. I'm going to say this one is Pacific cod. It is. Yep, Pacific cod. Okay, so next two to decide between are, and I didn't redo the snapper, or sorry, I didn't redo the rockfish because it was a rather large piece, and so this one, okay, tasty, large flakes. And the size of the flakes is what makes me think this is halibut. Halibut. So yeah, I do think I had the fish mixed up last time. So let's see what the Atlantic cod is like, because that's what this one will be. Nice big flakes. I didn't have it backwards last time. I had it right. These are I am so amazed. The Atlantic cod, you see that? Has bigger layers than the halibut. I am amazed. The first run through was right. Let me get the paper under there. Atlantic cod. Wow, there was not a mistake the first time around. There was no mix-up. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Share it with your friends, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you again soon with a new video.